Okay, we're going to be doing something very similar to that today, except for instead of discussion questions, we're going to be thinking about the main events of a page. Because the text structure that we decided for this story was what? What's the overall text structure of this story? Scott?
Sequence.
It's sequence. And how did we know it was in sequential order? Rochelle, how do we know that?
Because it has the times, and you can't be like at 5:10, like the earthquake took the houses down, and then at 5 o'clock the earthquake started. So it has to be in order.
Very nice, because it has to be in specific order. And each page gives us a new time, an event that is happening in that order. So we're going to focus on the sequential order of this story today by pulling out the main events of each page. So when you get to your partner groups, you are going to be responsible for closed reading. We're going to do our second read of the text today, and after each page, instead of thinking discussion questions, you're going to be thinking, what's the main event from this page? How can I figure out the most important event that happened here in order to create a sequential order? So that's going to be your thought. The end process is going to be you creating a flow chart of the sequence of events. But we have to pull out the most important events in order to do that. Okay? So we're going to talk about some questions for determining the main event of the page. What are some things that we can ask ourselves when we want to find the main idea of something or the main event that happened? What are some questions you could think of that we could ask ourselves? After you read a page, what's something you could ask? Okay, so we could ask what happened mostly on that page. Okay, what happened mostly on that page? What else can we ask? Emily?
What did I just read?
What did I just read? Absolutely. Brooklyn, what else can we ask?
How is that character feeling in that page?
Okay, that is definitely a great discussion question because in order to understand the stories, we definitely need to know about the characters, right? Their thoughts, their feelings, their words, their actions. But if I want to just focus on the main event of that page, how can I use the characters as a question? You're right, I can use the characters, but instead of their feelings, what could I ask?
You could ask,
Instead of how's the character feeling, if I want to know what was the most important event,
what's going on in the page?
okay, can you involve the characters in that? So let's go back to your original question. How are the characters feeling on that page? Okay? Great discussion question. Let's still focus on the character, whatever character is on that page, and let's try to think, how can we use the character to determine the main event? Absolutely, the character's action. So instead of how they're feeling, we could ask, what did the character do on that page? Any other ideas? What happened mostly? What did I just read? What did the character do on that page? Nicole, what do you think?
What was the problem on that page?
Okay. Did the characters face a problem? Did they have a conflict? Okay, so these are some questions that we're going to use when we get to our partner groups in order to help us determine what is the main event from that page. Okay, so we're going to look at the first page of this text together, and I'm going to model for you. I'm going to read the page and model for you what I'm expecting you to do in order to use these questions and to determine the main event. So everybody look with me on page 348, or let's go ahead to page 350. The opening page of the text. Page 350. Everybody should be on page 350 following along. introduction paragraph by choral reading, so we can work on reading with fluency. So make sure you're using your ears to listen for everyone else reading. And then after that introduction paragraph, I'm going to continue reading the page out loud to model for you the expectations of this activity. Okay? All right. 1, 2, 3.
It is 5:12 a.m. on Wednesday, April 18, 1906. In San Francisco, Chinatown, Shin and his father, Austin, are in their apartment. They are washing up, getting ready to go to Travis's house, where Austin works to send money to his wife in China. Their friend, Ta Kwan, lives nearby.
Suddenly, everything trembles. The bowl creeps across the table, then even the table crawls away. Chin spills water everywhere. You can write your mother about your first earthquake. What was the main focus of that page? What happened mostly? Calvin?
Like what happens while the earthquake is happening like inside their apartment.
Okay, so what's going on while the earthquake's happening? Nicole?
Everything is piling up
Okay, because?
because the earthquake is shifting the building.
Very nice. What did I just read? You want to add anything else? Tracy?
You just said about like the beginning of the earthquake.
Okay. And the third one, what did the character do on that page? Well, who are the characters involved right now? Who are the characters we're introduced to? Zenobia?
Chin, Austin, and Kwan.
Okay. Who's actually having the actions on this page?
Austin and Chin.
Austin and Chin. And what are they doing?
They're in an earthquake.
They're in an earthquake, but what are they doing? What are their actions on this page? What are their actions? Brooklyn? Okay, so make sure that you start your notebook with that first event that we came up with from the first page. The earthquake begins while Austin and Chin are getting ready for work. They try to protect themselves by getting under the table. That's the event along with their actions of what they're doing at the time the event begins.
So